Доброго ранку.
Good morning, colleagues. The Ukrainian Crisis Media Center starts its work today, and I invite Colonel Viktoria Kushnir, the spokesperson of the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, and then we'll see Captain First Rank Leonid Matyukhin on Skype from the zone of anti-terrorist operation. Good morning, dear President. I'm glad to see you at our briefing. One of these days, the President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, has signed a law which allows serving according to contract for 6 months. The document aims at establishing specific terms of military service according to contract during the special period if a crisis situation arises that threatens the national defense. There is an opportunity to terminate the contract before it actually ends if the special period ends or demobilization is announced. The military service according to contract can be also terminated if the term of contract expires, however, and the special period still continues. This will allow to increase the number of military who serve according to contract and have an experience of combat in the armed forces of Ukraine and other military formations. At the moment, the Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine on European integration, Igor Dolgov, is taking part in the Southern Caucasus Forum on Security that's taking place in Tbilisi. Yesterday, within the framework of the event, Igor Dolgov met the Minister of Defense of Moldova, Anatoly Shalaro. They discussed the security situation in the region and prospects of development of bilateral cooperation. The work on the construction of a system of rehabilitation institutions to provide specialized psychological help to anti-terrorist operation fighters continues. The General of Army, the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, Stepan Poltorak, decided to create centers of psychological rehabilitation of military, and before the end of the year, such centers will be created based on Kyiv, Odessa, Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, and Lviv military hospitals, and also based on the military sanatorium Khmelnyk and centers of rehabilitation and treatment Pushevodice and Truskavetsky. With the help of the Joint Center to Control and Coordinate the Issues of Ceasefire in Donbass, the repair and restoration works continue. Because of the pulling out of armaments from the contact line in Luhansk region, and with the help of the special monitoring meeting of OSCE, the rates of conducting work on this sector have accelerated sixfold. In particular, last week, the Ukrainian military have got 58 applications to conduct restoration works, and 50 of those applications were confirmed. In particular, the line of electricity delivery Kharkiv-Zorya was completely restored. It delivers electricity to the city of Mariupol. Also, the standby running water system in Mayorsk was repaired. At the moment, the work continues on 23 segments of territory along the contact line. Also, the work on demining continues. They have started to demine the locality next to Vuhlegirsk electric station. The works on repair and restoration of military machinery and equipment go on. Over the last week, the repair and restoration teams of armed forces have repaired 291 items of equipment and military machinery. As of the 26th of October, the additional remuneration was paid to 15,772 military, and the total amount is 74,457,000 hryvnia. As of today, for the destroyed military machinery and equipment of the enemy, the Ukrainian military have received more than 779,000 hryvnia. For the successful fulfillment of combat tasks within the units, they have received almost 3.5 million hryvnia, and for the direct participation in combat, over 70 million hryvnia. 1,038 million hryvnia of one-time military financial help was paid to families of the killed military servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine. Over 215 million hryvnia were paid to participants in the anti-terrorist operation in connection with wounded or disabledness. As within the framework of the event Support Ukrainian Army, the accounts of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine have received more than 159,745,000 hryvnia. In 2015, these donations amounted to 6,464,000 hryvnia. Out of this sum, 145 million hryvnia are the money sent for material and technical, and the rest for the medical provision of the armed forces of Ukraine. And now the word goes to Captain First Rank Leonid Matyukhin, who will inform us on the latest events in the anti-terrorist operation zone. The 23rd of October in the anti-terrorist operation zone went without violations of Minsk agreements, which gave an opportunity to continue the restoration of the infrastructure of Donbass. For instance, with the help of units of civil and military cooperation, and with the participation of military from engineering troops, the restoration of the roof of school number 2 in Mironivska continued, and the volunteers of the Diana Makarova Foundation have delivered warm things and foodstuffs to military who are located in Popasna and Troitske. On the 24th of October, with the participation of the civil and military cooperation, the warm things and foodstuffs were delivered to the settlement of Berdyanske, Lebedinsky, and Granitne. Also coal was delivered there. On the night on the 25th of October in the anti-terrorist operation zone was tense. In the vicinity of Pisky, starting from 2:30 a.m., for 1 hour, the criminals have pounded our positions from firearms, small firearms, high-caliber machine guns, air defense guns, and grenade launchers of different types. After the tense night, the day in the anti-terrorist operation zone, however, went without exchange of fire or shellings. The Ukrainian military, who are registered not far from where they serve, could vote during local elections. On the 26th of October, from 5:25 to 6:10 p.m., the gunmen have fired at our positions in the vicinity of Opitne and Pisky. The bandits were firing from the vicinity of Donetsk airport. There's a question to Leonid. Sergei Kutnyakov, press service of the Foundation for the Memory of the Heavenly Hundred. Can you tell us when the gunmen are being captured, do they try to establish whether they were members of some former political parties like the Party of Regions or the Communist Party, as the Communist Party is now against the ban? Because people said that after the local elections, people have an opportunity that the opposition bloc is on anti-Ukrainian positions. So, do you establish the party affiliation of the captured gunmen, like they did in the Second World War, whether the captured prisoners were Nazi or communists? Well, probably you addressed the question not to the right person, but of course the security service of Ukraine are establishing all the details about the people who took up arms to fight against Ukrainian troops. I cannot voice here my personal opinion, but there is a trend that people here have not radically changed their political views. But I do not think that party affiliation plays a significant role here. I think that we are all guilty of the fact that the mood of the people does not change very much. Another question to Viktoria. As a military historian, I can tell you that during the First World War in Mariupol, in my native city, there was a civil military administration. There was a head, a chairperson who arrived at any solutions of any importance in the city and its suburbs. So how expedient is this to appoint the heads of civil and military administration in every district city of Donetsk region with the corresponding functions in such a military peaceful times? Thank you for your question. Sergei, we know each other for quite some time. You are from Mariupol and I am from Mariupol. I think that in our native city everything will be organized very soon in an appropriate way. On our part, from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, the group of civil and military cooperation works, and there is understanding between the military and the local population. I think that the rest of the question is in a political domain, and I think that the question should be addressed not to the Ministry of Defense or its press service. Thank you very much, Viktoria. Thank you, Leonid. We are rounding off this briefing, and we'll talk to you